You guys, we are live today back with our summit series every Wednesday at 3:30. I'm excited today for you guys to have three more speakers come on. Our just as like a couple of items of figuring out what's going on. You guys can share this. I want you to share it. I want you to let everybody know that it's happening and that it's going down. When it's over, I will cut it up and make sure that everybody that the three talks that we have today um, are out there so everybody can have them. We are live on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. We're live on my Facebook channel, and then we're also live in my Facebook group. And so we have all of those places where we are live right now. And, um, you know, I want you guys to be able to share it. And that's kind of the whole goal. Okay. You're going to grow. There's going to be some interesting concepts that you learn throughout the day. We're going until 4:30 today. So yeah, get your popcorn ready, get your loved one ready, and let's do this. Okay. Our first guest today is Sammi Siren, and Sammi will be helping us connect through voice. And we'll also put up her information and we'll scroll that through as she's talking. Sammi, welcome in and thanks for coming in for us.
Hello, 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 hello. It is so wonderful to be here. My name is Sammi Sadacario. My music name is Sammi Siren. I am a siren and I am calling in the leaders and the self-healers. There's so much to talk about here. Talking about love, talking about the voice, talking about connection. I will be singing some of what I do at you, to you, for you during this because that's just who I am. So a little bit about my background and then what I do today and what I'm doing tomorrow. So I come from a background of musical theater. I was a professional actress and singer. I was on national tours off Broadway in New York City. I started singing at 8 years old. My parents put me on a soccer field, and instead I put on shows on that soccer field, and they said, get that kid in theater. Can't you tell? Fast forward, I was a cruise director for 2 years, and this is what made me an exceptional public speaker. Now I work with people to amplify their voice, to command respect and authority and attention with their voice without sacrificing authenticity. Because your voice is your superpower and your voice is your personality. The problem is that many of us are incredibly disconnected from our voice. Who here has ever silenced themselves in order to stay safe? Or been told children should be seen and not heard? Or been told your voice doesn't matter? Let's see, what are some of the other ones? Or been told you can't do that. The biggest one that's coming to mind today is needing to stay quiet, to stay safe. A lot of what makes a thriving couple is safety together, is creating safety. And most of the time when we have communication issues, it's because we don't feel safe. And so we try to control something. A lot of my background comes from an incredibly codependent background. I fell in love with a narcissist who was 30 years my senior. It was my dark night of the soul in July of 2020. And I learned so much from that experience. I learned that I had codependency issues and that I tried to fix people in front of me, and that all of the years of mental health issues that I had been suffering with could be healed through self-healing, through somatics. So it was how I started to discover what it felt like to be in my body. You see, although I was on stage using my voice all the time, the first time that I was silenced, I was 2.5 years old and I experienced scarlet fever. I got very sick and my personality completely changed. All of a sudden, I had chronic pain throughout my entire life. I had severe mental health difficulties. Straight A student, needed to be perfect in every way on stage, in school, etc. And so this contributed to me pulling my hair out and spending the majority of my teenage years incredibly sedated by the medical system. So I found a way about 5 years ago to come back to my health and focus on reducing inflammation in my body and do a complete 180 of my mental health. I'm incredibly vibrant. I'm incredibly happy. I know how to use my tools and how to take care of my emotions, which is so important in my relationship. Because guess what? Relationships are emotional. Things happen. We raise our voices. Now, why do we raise our voices? Have you ever had in your relationship somebody say, or you've at least heard the saying, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. And you're like, well, how did I say it? Sometimes we can be sharp. We can get frustrated. And it's hard to turn down the dial of our voice when we're feeling really heated. Once again, our voice is our personality. There have been several studies that our emotions are shown through our voice, not what we say, but how we say it. If you want to detect a liar, start paying attention to vocal patterns. That's why lie detector tests are vocal patterns. There's so much I could talk about with the voice, y'all. So I'm obviously just riffing. I wish that you could ask me questions. If you want to ask me questions, reach out at any point. Take notes of what I'm saying and reach out. I've got 21 years of experience with the voice, both the inner voice and the inner psychology, as well as the outer voice and the actual how do you use it in all these different ways. All of my clients learn to sing with me, and there's a few different reasons for that. One, I work with executives and public speakers who want to learn how to command attention with their voice. And then my other courses and offerings that are in process right now are how to use your voice to heal, using your voice to connect with your children. I run workshops on that because guess what? Your children don't learn what you say, they learn how you say it. For example, my parents love to yell. They love to yell. They love to yell at each other, but to them, it's not yelling. So I learned that yelling is normal and yelling is love. And then that's why I fell in love with somebody who is emotionally erratic. Check out, makes sense? I hope it makes sense. It makes sense. So how do we calm ourselves down? Well, what's so cool about the voice is there's a science behind it. Polyvagal theory, which is the fight or flight mechanism of our body. When we tone the vagus nerve, we create more resilience in handling the hard emotions. That's why singing is so important, and that's why singing will heal generational trauma. Learning to use your voice effectively will heal your generational trauma. That is why I'm here on this planet. It is to spread that message by working with people who are disrupting the medical system, people who are disrupting the education system, all the evolutionaries of the coaching system. That is why I'm here to show you all how to use your voice so we can heal generational trauma and we can command the attention of the people who haven't woken up yet. I'm just gonna take a minute to own that because it feels so good. I want you all to close your eyes with me. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. This time I want you to exhale on a hum. Inhale through the nose. And exhale on a hum. The way we build intimacy is by building resonance and harmony. In order to build intimacy and resonance and harmony with someone else, we must first build it within ourselves. So, what we just did was called toning. There's a reason why if you ever go to yoga and somebody is in downward dog and they're releasing everything on it's because they're physically releasing from their nervous system. It's cool once you learn that. At first, you're like, that person's weird. What's happening? And then you realize once you learn the science that you're actually releasing from the nervous system. It's incredibly important. For generations and generations and thousands of years, we've been singing together in community. And now we get to this century, to the past 250 years, and we are no longer singing in community. I used to listen to gospel music when I was a kid. I'm a Jewish girl from South Florida, and I loved gospel. How'd that happen? It was the soul and the spirituality and the healing that came from it. Communities that have undergone trauma sing together to release that trauma. That's the history of gospel music, baby. That is the history of soul. That is the history of R&B. That is the history of rock. That is the history of the blues. They all come from the same place, deep pain that was sung together in order to release, singing and dancing to release. And when we release that pain, we don't hold on to the trauma, and we're able to stop ourselves from passing that down to the next generation. Breaking the patterns through the voice, breaking the patterns within our body. Notice how people talk when they're stuck in the same patterns. People use the words always, never, who are stuck in the same patterns. Didn't, couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't. Ooh, should's a good one to notice that somebody's in a pattern. Notice the pattern so you can break the pattern. How are we going to break the pattern? With toning, what we just did. So what we just did by humming 3 breaths, the second 2 are humming. All 3 could be humming. Is you're calming the nervous system. You are toning your vagus nerve, which is giving you more resilience. This is resilience training. I love ice baths. I can sit in an ice bath for 10 minutes. I go and I sit in the sauna. It's 105 degrees in Austin, Texas right now. I go and sit in the sauna and then I go ice bath. Why? Because this creates better resilience for me, resilience training, so that I have more capacity to handle my emotions. If I have more capacity to handle my emotions, I have more capacity to handle the emotions of my partner, and then I'm no longer triggered as quickly. So next time you recognize that you are triggered, try the 3 breaths technique, the 3 ohms, if you will, whatever you want to call it, toning. You and your partner in the middle of a fight, agree that you're going to pause and tone together. My partner and I have done that. When we don't agree, when we've had a fight and we need to go to bed, but we don't want to go to bed angry, we tone together. Now, I could go into a whole other lecture and information around using your voice during sex and how to increase your intimacy and your pleasure by coming from a more rooted sound. Because when you're up here, then you're not actually able to connect into your core sound and your core vibration. As you noticed with the the reason why I'm starting out so low is because I am sinking deeper into my vibration in my body, and I'm feeling this at the depths of my belly. Now, I have a lot of practice with this. I have a lot of practice with this. For you, right now, your one piece of homework is to learn how to feel your voice in your body. Because I could give you advice for how to handle communication. I could give you all of these different things, but until you know how to actually feel your own voice and have the self-awareness of your inner patterns and your vocal patterns, and feeling safe in your voice, learning how to feel safe to use your voice. If you come from a family that's been oppressed or a race that's been oppressed, it's going to be, at first, there's going to be lack of safety in using your voice. So step 1, learn to breathe, learn to tone, and say to yourself on a daily basis, I am safe. I am safe to be in my body. I am safe to feel my emotions. I am safe to use my voice. Notice how much calmer you are. And then notice how you're able to listen and receive from your partner, because you're not going to be able to receive if your asshole is puckered because you're not breathing. as my mentor would say. That's a little homage to Mark England, my favorite of my mentors. Look, my friends, I've been studying the voice for a very, 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 very long time. As a hyper-vigilant child, paying attention to their brazen New Yorker parents yelling because that's how they communicated, to a professional singer learning how to use my voice to be on stage, to a voice coach who uses the voice to support people in healing trauma, and then getting on stage and nailing their keynote and their public speaking and making themselves more magnetic. I am obsessed with the voice. This is my purpose. This is my dharma. You can, if you are public speakers or if you want to follow me and learn more about the work that I do, I am coming out with so many amazing offers coming up, so many free resources, so many concerts, and low ticket courses. And then there, of course, there is one-on-one with me or partner on with me. If you go to my link, superpoweryourvoice.com/pages/free power, that is all about how to use your voice to command respect and attention, and how to use it. Sorry, I got distracted. How to use your voice before a public speaking event. So getting yourself warmed up, getting your mouth around the consonants so that you don't stutter, so that you're not using ums, and so that you feel really confident and safe to use your voice in an authentic way. And then once you're signed up for that, you will get access to my newsletter, which I release every Friday and have so much information. Otherwise, if you want to find me on TikTok, that's where I give a lot of my channeling and my vocal siren downloads, and that is at Sammi Siren Sounds. And I have so much coming up to teach y'all on Sammi Siren Sounds. And from there, you'll be able to also find out more information about my NFTs that I will be releasing with the music I am creating to help heal generational trauma. So that is my mission. That is me. If you have any questions, reach out. You know how to find me now.
Cool deal. Thank you so much.